girl. Let her go. Shut up. Come closer, and I'll kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Let's see. Terry Fallis. Charged with kidnapping and murder. Death penalty. After escaping, Fallis met with and then murdered Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, who captured on Eagle Mountain 8 hours after his escape. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before Mia and I ever met. Six years earlier, Mia Fey's first trial. Hello, and welcome to possibly the most dreaded court case in most of Ace Attorney series. This is Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations, and then Luigi Van 64D. Buckle your pants, buckle your seatbelts, and get ready for a ride in a roller coaster. I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. I never should have accepted this case. Good morning! Don't be so jumpy, Mia. I didn't do nothing. I swear, I didn't kill nobody. Terry Fallis, my first client. He's sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now a prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So why did you escape anyway? I'm sorry. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lied. I didn't escape from nowhere. But Mr. Fallis, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. I'm sorry. I told a little lie. Oh boy. But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed anybody. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? Really sorry. They sentenced me to death time 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it. I didn't kill her. I could never do that. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before police could recapture him. The police believe that Terry Fallis did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped. So that much is true. You did meet with the victim. But I didn't kill her! She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's still true. I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. You're not going to figure out the truth just by staring at the guy. Why are you here? I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big, scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Where's Mr. Grossberg? That old man's probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando. I didn't say... So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney in Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me? No. You got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine, An escaped death row convict for a first client. Yeah, thanks. I wish I could get out of it, though. Relax. I just heard some good news. This prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well.
Really?
However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned the reputation as a genius since beginning his law career.
Genius?
Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's go time.
A solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple, childlike voice, I just had the feelings that it was telling the truth. And it's that truth that I'm gonna have to cling to throughout this trial.
Court now in session for the trial of Terry Fowlis.
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. I understand the laws for both sides of newcomers.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm Yafei.
Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. So you're the new prosecutor everyone's been talking about, eh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. At 20, Your Honor. I guess our little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh?
Come on, Mia. You can't lose. Not to someone younger than you.
Young people running the trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently fell in a death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct?
Precisely.
But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered.
So we're here to determine if Mr. Fowlis is actually responsible for his death? For her death?
You got it, kitten. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement.
Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago.
The defendant, Terry Fowlis, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. A truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so this trial was long and protracted.
Correct. But in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony.
By the way, you picking up on what this guy's emotions are? I'm really scared.
A witness's testimony.
The testimony of the detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Fowlis at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Fowlis throw his young victim into the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies of the fall have never recovered.
So Miss Hawthorne's testimony is the one that put him away.
The policewoman you just mentioned. That wouldn't be. Yeah, exactly. The victim. She's the same woman who was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Aha! I see. The man who was sentenced to death based on their testimony escaped 2 days ago, with only one thing on his mind, to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now.
Huh?
Yes. It's quite obvious who the defendant is guilty.
Wait a minute, that's not right! At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor.
Watch yourself, Miss Fay. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders.
Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite!
Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your forced witness. I call the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation in this case.
Do we get to see him? Gumshoe!
Witness, state your name and occupation.
Gumshoe, Dick Gumshoe. I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago.
I don't believe anyone asked you about that.
Hey, ma'am. You got any idea how much work it takes?
What is it?
You're really gorgeous.
Excuse me?
No, seriously. My heart, it's aching for you.
Detective? Pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache.
Okay, I got it.
Now, detective, tell us about the incident.
Yes, sir. Right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. And much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir. I gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at the aerial map of the area here. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge, and the river that runs under the Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there, on top of that bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. I see. This is very bad news. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Miss Edgeworth, I warned you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then there was no proof that he even met there.
Your Honor. If you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day.
Why, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me, though I was some hoser. Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir.
Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now. Listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. Summary of the incident.
On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to the Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Fawless. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. Criminals stuffed her body into a car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Fawless was arrested at the police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge.
Naturally.
Now, will the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination. Coming right up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're going to make me spill my coffee.
I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here.
The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, alright. Especially for a beginner.
I don't need you to worry about me. I mean, the defendant, the witness, everyone's a beginner in here.
You got me there. Maybe we should keep your claws out and show them what you got, kitten.
That's okay, Mia. Stay calm. Just remember those court procedure videos you stayed up all night watching. We can do this. Don't let him intimidate you.
On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet.
This unknown person, you have no idea who it might be, right?
Sorry, but I'm afraid I do.
What?
The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Fawless.
What? The defendant? The defendant called her?
Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. You left a note about her phone call with Terry Fawless.
But a note?
Yeah, a top secret memo that she left on her desk. According to this note, it seems someone who called her on the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Fallis. What? Okay, let me see that note. Fallis, 4:30 p.m. at that bridge. Wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Dahlia? Who's Dahlia? Let's just look at the bridge. Okay, 5 yards. Gotcha. And autopsy report. Stabbed in the back. Died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. Square at 4:30. And my badge. Brand new and sparkles in the light. Alright, sorry about that. Just a check.
Ugh. Whose idea was it to keep that note from me?
Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer.
It's the detective's fault. He's the one who said unknown person.
Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to.
What was that? The trap? With the cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky.
Huh. Sergeant Hawthorne went to the Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Fallis.
A bridge up in the mountains, but why meet there?
Because it was a very important place to the defendant, that's why. What do you mean by that? If you remember, 5 years ago, the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge, and it was there that he killed his hostage. And that place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge. Every place where Sergeant Hawthorne arrested and handcuffed Mr. Fallis. Returning to the scene of the crime. How nostalgic. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir.
Was the body of the victim discovered right away?
Yeah, we were really on the ball. We found the criminal within 1 hour of the murder. It was great! We even got to say, don't move! We've got you surrounded!
Wait a second. Isn't there something weird about that?
Location was the suspension bridge up in the mountains. So how did they find out about the crime so quickly? Sergeant Hawthorne must have mentioned the phone call to someone else, right? Huh! If that's what had happened, then she wouldn't have been killed. She never mentioned the phone call from Mr. Fallis, but she left a note on her desk about it. If only I'd noticed it earlier, maybe she'd still be alive.
I wonder why she didn't mention the phone call to anyone.
The criminal stuffed her body in his car trunk and tried to make a getaway.
Mr. Fallis had a car then?
Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, ma'am. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right?
What?
You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about the car thieves.
Is this guy sure how he feels about anything?
This is the photo of the stolen car's trunk. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. Whoa! That doesn't look too comfortable.
Well, she's dead. That's, you know... The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct?
Yeah. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back.
We're talking about a woman here.
Can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back, nice and firm. The condition of the body was soon discovered very important information. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy about the trunk of the car? Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange, do you? Anyway.
Well, what did the defendant have to say about this photo?
What he always says, ma'am. I didn't do it. I didn't do nothing. That's all he says. Nothing? I wouldn't say he did nothing. At this very least, at least you know he stole a car. It's just what he always says, Your Honor. And then he always says, I'm sorry, I told a little lie. Or something like that. Well, in this case, it seems he was caught and arrested.
Precisely.
Mr. Falls was arrested at the police checkpoint, was set up at the base of the mountain.
That certainly is some impressive police work.
Well, no, actually, it was way too close for comfort. We set up that checkpoint just after 5 p.m. We figured that Mr. Falls might try to run away.
What do you mean it was too close for comfort? The two of them arranged to meet at 4:30. And it takes approximately 30 minutes to go from the bridge to the checkpoint. Huh, that was kind of close. Later, Mr. Falls might have slipped right by.
Listen up, kitten. There's a big trap waiting for you in that testimony.
A trap?
Walk into it carelessly. You'll have more than just a flesh wound. Fun, huh?
No, it's not!
Well, if you want to have any chance at all, you'd better get some more information. If you're going to get caught in a trap, it's best to get caught early. You can always look for contradictions afterwards.
The ever-famous contradictions. Sure hope I find some of those. Alright, so there's a trap in here and we gotta spring it? Oh. Well, let's go find that trap then.
Criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk trying to make a getaway. But I don't see anything strange. Rest at a checkpoint. Okay. Criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk trying to make a getaway. Let's see what we got. Here's the trunk. Okay.
That bridge. Wear a white scarf for identification. Where's the white scarf? I don't see it. Witness!
What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Faye?
I'm sorry. I totally forgot what I was going to say. This is the first time I've ever actually had to address someone like that.
You should have practiced before coming to court.
Honestly, Miss Faye, I'm not sure I like this.
Say there, little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy?
Candy?
Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee.
Yeah, shake it off. Lawyer. Detective!
Yes, Miss Ma'am.
This photo. You said there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well then, I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim.
The note?
It very clearly says, wear white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like. Thus, this special request. I have one very simple question for you, Detective. Where is the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo.
Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am.
And you stopped there? You should have looked for it! Ugh!
The caller was told her to wear it to identify herself, so I'd expect she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this?
I see the defense is a little lacking. The scarf you are searching for so desperately. Is it this one, perchance?
What? Where did you find that, sir?
On Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation.
Why? Why didn't you tell me?
I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know.
That hotshot sure has a flair for the dramatic.
It's not exactly white, as the caller requested, but as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for.
Looks like it spent some time in the mud.
Not surprising. It was drizzling on the mountain that day. Prosecutor Edgeworth. He was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time.
The court will accept the scarf into evidence.
That's a classic Edgeworth right there. Now, if the attorney for the defense is finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is alright with you, isn't it, Miss Faye? Boy, would I like to wrap this scarf around his smarmy little neck. Very good. Now, if you're done with this mud-covered scarf business, The prosecution moves to establish conclusively, and with hard evidence, that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Fallis did indeed meet on the bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there. Sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it. Everything is moving on his whim. Don't forget, kitten. There's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. A genius, huh? On the bridge that day. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows that her wearing the scarf, ma'am, sir. It was drizzling that day, unfortunately. It's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the colonel shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. Looks at this photo. You really get the sense that this bridge is very high up. There's about 40 feet drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway? Let's just say it was the well-intentioned third party. Potential witness. So why isn't this person in this courtroom? Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify. The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we have no reason to compel her to testify. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Honestly, I'm not too happy about that either. So, as you can see, Terry Fallis has both a motive and the opportunity. I think that's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge. Truth is becoming clear to me. Huh? Yes, it is quite obvious. It's clearly guilty. Not again! That isn't fair! I haven't even done my cross-examination yet! What do you mean, I got a shot to do this too, right? Actually, there was an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. Who is this eyewitness? She's a college student. Female college student? That's right. Meaning she's female and a college student, ma'am. She doesn't do well in front of other people, so I came to testify for her. Maybe so, but as the attorney for the defense, I have the right to cross-examine her. For the time being, we're not relying on the witness's statements. That is all. What is that supposed to mean? The prosecution has other, more decisive evidence. Our case doesn't rest on the vague testimony of a female college student. A female college student, eh? Means she's female and a college student, sir. If you absolutely must hear her testimony, you'll have to give us a good reason why. Please tell us about this more decisive evidence in question. The photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows her wearing the scarf, sir. Oh, it does. The victim was wearing a scarf in that photo, alright. So, about the witness who took this photo, what was this person doing all the way up in the mountains? She was taking photos of wildflowers, apparently. There are many unusual types of flora in that mountain, Miss Faye. People in the area say it's because of the spirits that live there. Spirits? Now that you mention it, this photo, this cloudy fog-like thing, is it a ghost? I don't believe it! No, Your Honor, no, I don't think it's a ghost. It was drizzling that day, unfortunately. It's a little hard to see what's going on. Drizzling, huh? That's right. There was a light rain coming down. The whole place is dreary. But not as dreary as the mood that's in the courtroom right now. Looks like a cold front just moved in. In any case, the point is that the area was quite damp. There's even some fog. I even slipped and fell a little bit when I was on the bridge. It was really something. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Wait, is that part of the witness's testimony as well? Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back and she fell down right in her stomach. I remember that happened once myself. It was really brutal. Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or were you the one getting pushed? Or does it mean that you pushed someone down like that once? With his mind-boggling tales, the way he said brutal, I wonder if he's Canadian.
Save your nasty look for the right person.
Huh?
Take a look. Poor baby.
The court record seems to have wet itself. Hey! Watch when you spill your coffee! Court record, huh?
Must have been when the scarf fell off.
You know, I know there's a contradiction in there. I'm just gonna hold off on that right now. So in other words, there was a struggle between the criminal and the victim, huh?
That's what the witness said. Well, it looks like she didn't remember about the scarf. But from what she said, it sounded like a pretty violent fight, ma'am.
Oh, the area was wet from rain. The bridge were probably wet too. Which would explain why the scarf is all covered in mud. But there's also something about this testimony that's still bothering me.
Talk about a surprise. I had no idea there was a photo.
So what do I do?
You really still believe him? Master Crybaby, I mean.
Of course I do!
So the little kitten believes in fairy tales, huh? In that case, the answer is obvious. If what you believe is the truth, then that means that somewhere hidden in that testimony is a contradiction. A huge contradiction waiting to be discovered. Now's your chance.
Alright, that contradiction is... he shoved the victim down and stabbed her in the back. I'd just like to point out, how do you do that when you're facing forward? Evidence establishes the defendant is lying, Your Honor, right? Ask me to confirm your facts. Sorry, this is my first time handling a case.
Well, let's make it a memorable occasion with a penalty.
And here I thought I would go easy on me because I'm new. The thing I find weird is how do you shove the victim down from behind when they're facing forward at each other? Did you see that? How would they have gotten behind her? Well, I think the only way to point this out is by logic, so therefore... it's a scarf. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence!
I'm sorry, but I don't think the only thing out of place here is the pointer finger of yours.
That could very well be.
Here, take this penalty and try thinking things through again.
What's the problem? Pointer fingers are made for pointing.
This is why it's so...
This is why this case is annoying. This is it. The scarf didn't work, but this is what I'm trying to point out. So at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzling coming down, correct?
Yeah, and fog too. Just a generally soggy atmosphere.
Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with a soggy atmosphere.
But this is the photo of the victim's body that was found in the car's trunk.
Considering the condition of the crime scene, something isn't right.
Well, by all means, please enlighten us as to what isn't right. What is it about this photo of the trunk that doesn't fit the conditions of that day?
The coat. Naturally, the answer is right here.
The victim's coat? As far as I can see, there's nothing strange about it.
That's exactly what's strange. Remember the testimony. Where were the conditions of the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky bridge is all wet. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of that bridge, then the front of her coat should have been covered in mud.
That's exactly right.
The other day I fell in a muddy street. My gorgeous play-off beard was befouled. I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If Your Honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, his glorious hockey beard, pride of the legal league, would be wet, but not muddy.
Fortunately, I have yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken.
Can you prove that the surface of the bridge is not muddy that day? The surface of the bridge, huh?
A real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this.
Neither would a real woman. Of course I can. Here's the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge was muddy. The scarf. The evidence is this scarf. Oh, it should be obvious that the scarf fell under the bridge and got this muddy. It means that the bridge itself was obviously covered in mud. No, I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo. Hey, same to you, buddy.
This phase assertion makes perfect sense to me. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction?
Huh?
For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what the explanation in this case may be, shall we?
Alright. Not like he's really giving me a choice here.
Huh. You're doing pretty good for a little kid.
Mr. Armando!
No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim discovered the trunk, the witness's photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness's testimony that she stated she saw the moment of the murder. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? The false evidence is one of those three. What did you say just now? I'm not sure I like that.
That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over here that said it.
This court is not on a habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into this court. But we won't let him. We'll expose every evidence as a flimsy scam it really is.
Yes! The false evidence in the case is the testimony. It's a no-brainer. Obviously, it's a witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen?
Yeah, that's what the witness told us.
That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all.
That's true. It's not just true, it's the truth. If there was a truly decisive witness in this case, I'm certain that boy wonder over there would have called him in the first place.
Your Honor, the defense requests the cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented in so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness after all. You should brace yourselves for the brutal truth.
Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. We are prepared to present our witness at any time.
Very well. Bring forth your witness at this time.
Mr. Edgeworth said, kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth?